Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridget on this happy hump day. We're almost over the hump. At least this is the start of it. It is Spring Forward Week, and I will continue to complain until hopefully next week I can stop complaining about it. But hope you're doing well this morning. We're waking up chilly again. Meteorologist Candace Campos is teasing some summer-like weather that's coming up. But first we have to get through, well, there's sweater weather too. I heard you say that earlier.
Yeah.
So it's which one comes first?
We'll go from sweaty weather to sweater weather.
That's it. That's it. That's what you said. Quite clever. I'll be using
You know
that.
what?
Thank you.
And I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I pulled that out last minute when I
Yes. That's
we
one
did
to
the last
save.
weather hit. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's going to be a warm day today. It's going to be even warmer though as we head into your weekend. But like Bridget said, it's not a warm start. It's certainly a nice, cool, mild start across Central Florida. So let's take it to the maps, Bridget, show you what's going on across Central Florida. Right now, we're at 54 in the Villages, still holding at 60 degrees on the dot from Daytona, Sanford, Orlando, as well as Kissimmee. Now, throughout the next few hours, we are going to be warming back up into the mid to low 80s. About 83 will be your high for today. I'm trying to see why my graphics aren't advancing. There it is. 82 will be your high in Orlando, about 83 in Sanford this afternoon. Now, along the coastline, we still have that nice onshore breeze throughout the day, which is why temperatures will kind of cap out there at about the upper 70s. Just do be aware that onshore breeze, though, will be kicking up that threat for some rip currents along our beaches. So let's look at your forecast for St. Patrick's Day. This is going to be on Sunday. Highs are going to be hot. Today, we're at 83. By Sunday, we'll be climbing up to about 89 degrees. Could be nearing some records in a couple spots, primarily in Sanford. The last time I checked, could be close to record-breaking temperatures. Maybe a spotty shower or two, but not a lot of green on the radar. But we will start to see rain chances increase as we head into your Monday. So this is our clouds of rain forecast showing that front approaching Central Florida. Keeping it still dry, maybe an isolated sprinkle or two on Sunday, but more of a wider chance for rain in the forecast come late Monday afternoon and into the evening. And as that front comes through, could bring a couple scattered showers, but then a big blast of much cooler air settles in. I love this graphic because it's easily understood here. This is a graphic that is issued by the Climate Prediction Center. And it tends to show you a kind of an outlook. So this is between a 6 to 10 day outlook. So that's between March 19th and the 23rd through spring break. It looks like Central Florida will be kind of on the blue side of things. So running just a few degrees below average for this time of the year. So we'll go from feeling like near 90 on St. Patrick's Day to nearing 70 degrees as we officially ring in the spring season on Tuesday. Spring officially begins at 11:06 in the evening on Tuesday, but some areas could actually be struggling to hit that 70-degree mark on Tuesday. So here's the trend throughout the next 7 days. Again, a gradual stair climb throughout the next few days, going from 82, 83 today up to about 89, almost 90 degrees on Sunday. Cold front comes through, pushes all that hot, humid air out of here, and then by the time spring rolls in, temperatures will be into the low 70s. So a big change in the weather forecast for the next couple of days. So don't put away the sweaters just yet. You might have kind of one last winter hurrah in the forecast next week, just in time for spring break when everyone has their summer plans scheduled.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could have swapped that out, but we'll take what we can get. It's still not bad.
It's not going to be a washout or anything crazy storm-wise. So, maybe not an ideal beach day, but, still be nice.
Yeah, and I know that people will be buying those jackets who didn't come prepared. They came with tank tops and maybe get a little cooler air than they were expecting.
That is accurate. I forgot about the people who are actually coming here. Yeah, that'll be, well, hopefully they're looking at our forecast.
Have you ever been, we go to the parks a lot. Have you ever been at one of the parks and then you end up having to just, bite the bullet and buy a sweatshirt or one of those jackets at the park because you just can't take it?
So my little financial hack on that is rather than buying a sweater, I just buy a blanket. So rather
how
than
much
buying two
savings
sweaters
is
for the
that?
kids,
Uh-huh. Oh,
I'm not much. Not
okay,
much.
okay,
Not
okay,
much.
okay. So there
Not
you
much.
go. If you get
But I
stuck
feel
at the
like a
park,
blanket you can
cold
use
kids.
like year round, or a
True,
sweater you can't.
true, true. Yeah, I will never forget being at Universal, and I was so mad at myself, but I just couldn't take it anymore. It was just the temperature dropped after sunset, and I had to just go ahead and get that zip up hoodie, which then I
That's the
lost.
word.
Then I lost it that same year. Yeah.
Well, you
So
know what? It's probably somewhere deep, deep in the back of somebody's closet. But I know
yeah,
that
one of my
feeling. That
friends'
feeling,
houses.
it just stings.
Yeah, it happens, man. That keeps them in business, right? That's why
I mean
That's why the
that and
t-shirt shop has
the
the sweatshirts too.
all year round, if you
Mm-hmm.
notice, all year
Yep,
round.
all year round. All right, thank you,
Well, if you're going
Candace.
to be heading out to the theme parks, then let me try to save you some money and tell you pack the sweatshirts as you head into your Tuesday and
Right, right.
Wednesday.
Or layer it and then just push the sleeve up.
There you go.
Right. Just put some long sleeves under those spaghetti straps. All right, thank you, Candace.
You'll look ridiculous. Okay, bye.
All righty, we want to check in with traffic. Trooper Steve is out in results one, getting ready to head out today. Are you on at 8:30 or a little later today?
8:30 is the topic today, 8:30, and it's about tired driving. Basically
Mm.
what how we do I was funny because I was teasing that this morning and all I could think about is tired news. And that's how we do it every day.
It
It's
is. It
like
is.
we're
But you had
smiling
some
at you,
different
but we're
caffeine
struggling.
today. Yep.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up.
How's it
Guys,
holding
if
up?
you're
This is not a paid
it is great.
advertisement though.
This is not because I'm not going to name the product, but
Okay.
I found like this herbal tea, completely legal on Amazon, and I just was Googling like
As far as you
caffeinated tea because
know.
I didn't want to. Yeah, as far as I know, I didn't want to like an energy drink, so I was like, all right, I like tea, so let me try it out. I used the Sleepy Time tea. There's got to be an opposite one, and I had it within 5 minutes of waking up, and before I left the house, I was ready to like do a SWAT entry on
Mm,
anything. I was ready to rock and roll. I came in talking a mile a minute, and you're
you
like, "Were you
did.
hanging out with Crystal?"
I was like, wow, he's awake this morning. He's chipper on this spring
I'm gonna
forward
bring
morning news
I'm gonna
week.
bring you one of these teas.
Okay. I'll try it. I'll try it.
It's good stuff. Hey, we do anything we can to survive because it's not
Yeah.
easy. It is not.
Yeah. And we're
The
supposed to
job is
limit our
unforgiving.
caffeine. I mean, we're not abusing it, but we do, have
Correct.
caffeine in the morning to just kind of get going because it is 3 in the morning when we're getting ready
Right.
to head over here.
When I got sick in 2000, my doctor was very specific. He's like, "Look,
Mm-hmm.
we understand your hours. I've worked with people in the news business. However, don't stack."
Yep.
And
And I've
that's
been
what we
nagging
tend to
about
do.
that
We
ever
tend to
since.
Yeah, we do a lot of stacking. I tend to do that in order to get through the morning because we have to meet an expectation to the viewer. And I stopped that. So I've been trying to find healthier options to find my energy.
Yes, yes, I hear you. And today, like the energy drink, I think the particular flavor that I picked is making my stomach hurt. So I don't, you just
Oh, what flavor
yeah,
did you get?
it's strawberry lemonade, and I think that there's just something
Hmm.
in maybe certain flavors that I just don't. My tummy doesn't like it, so I don't know. But
I think though our hours totally mess us up. One morning we could
hmm
eat strawberry lemonade and drink it, and the next day, depending what we had for dinner, the body's like, nope, not today.
not today. But anyway, I hope the roads are better this morning than yesterday. I was just chatting with a neighbor about, the horrible tragedy on the ramp yesterday at Sand Lake and I-4. And it's
Hmm.
just, I see we had this big rig in the woods this morning. It's just, it hasn't slowed down.
Every day, Bridget, it's something, and it's really unfortunate. I just wish I had a magic wand. But you're right. We are watching this current fatal crash along I-95 that's been going on since about 2 o'clock this morning. The fatal crash investigation is pretty much been completed, but it's the cleanup process. We're not dealing with a normal vehicle here, so you have to deal with different equipment to get it out. This was a single vehicle semi crash northbound I-95 at the 185 mile marker north of Melbourne into the tree line. They just pulled this out. You have the right lane now blocked, and they opened two left northbound travel lanes. That really hasn't helped us out because we have a secondary crash out there at this point because people not following at a safe distance. Therefore, it results in another crash. So we're backed up northbound I-95 past US 192. We're looking at a 5 to 6 mile backup at this point with slow moving traffic. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. If you are leaving and getting into traffic, please just add a little distance. 436 Cimarron Boulevard at EU Drive. I don't know how to say that. Just north of 408, causing some southbound delays. They've cleared it, but now you mix the morning commute, we've got problems. 408 up to speed, got a road ranger out there. Always give them a little bit of space, please. Minor crash over by Valencia College out on the east side. So at Grassy Island Lane, right there, they cleared out the roadblock, but with a trooper there, we do know that blue lights just tend to slow people down. Silver Star at Forest Park. This is a crash with roadblock as well. We got really busy right at the end of the show. And then 429 north and southbound, we're seeing routine delays. But you guys up in Tavares, Mount Dora, Eustis, Dublin, so well behaved the past couple of days. Things are looking pretty good. We'll end it with our drive times, 30 minutes from Osceola Parkway to Colonial along I-4 eastbound. Westbound lanes, Lake Mary to Colonial, 26. So we're starting to see some pickup there. Across Central Florida, 417, the Turnpike sitting nicely. And then I love this because it shows us just a broad drive time of how things are looking. Green light, pretty good. And then we're in the yellow, east and westbound along I-4. But talking about Trooper Steve on patrol, 8:30 today, Bridgett. And we're talking about drowsy driving. How dangerous that can be, and the similarities that we see between drowsy and intoxicated driving. And viewer asked, if I feel tired, where am I legally allowed to stop and get some rest? Where is it safe to get some rest? Am I allowed to pull into a rest area even if I don't have an RV and sleep in my car? And I'm going to answer all of those today at 8:30 over at clickorlando.com.
Because there is a right and wrong way to do it, because you could be ticketed just for stopping to sleep. So
yes,
it's a catch-22. You really need to know the right thing to do.
And
but there's nothing wrong with
you might
stopping
be
and
thinking,
resting.
Nothing at all. We want that rest. But the thing is, we want you to rest in a safe area, hence why you would get a ticket, because they don't want you in certain spots. Because if you're asleep and someone loses control, you may not wake up.
Oh, yeah. I've
So
been there.
we want, we want to put you in the right spot to get the right rest so that you can drive safely.
Yes. I mean, we've all had those times where, you're trying to make it. Maybe you have, a deadline to get somewhere, or you're the one stuck driving.
Or how many times you've been behind the wheel and you're driving and you're like, whoa.
How much time just went by?
That's the scariest. That's the scariest thing in the world, and we want to prevent that.
Because it's right, like you said, it's right there with impaired driving, distracted driving, like looking down, closing your eyes. It's all, time that you're not watching the road. So that's scary. For sure.
Amen.
Okay, well, good information coming up soon. Thank you,
Yes,
Trooper
ma'am.
Steve. We'll see you in a
Talk
little
to you
bit.
later.
Some news to get to. We're going to go to News 6's Mark Lehman in just a second. But first, a couple stories. We want to talk about the potential TikTok ban and that bill that's currently moving through. But first, we want to update you on the Orange County Public Schools absences report procedure. We've had the story, the sad updates of Madeline Soto's death and the circumstances that led up to realizing she was missing. Her mother said that she went to pick her up that afternoon at school, and that's when she realized that Madeline hadn't gone to school that day. And as of right now, you get a notice in Orange County that your child is not in the public school later in the afternoon and evening through sort of a robocall system. And I, as a parent in Orange County Public Schools, have gotten those calls, but they do come in later. So now they are looking at changing that. And Ezzy Castro has more on this change and how the parents will get notified if their child is not in class. And in addition to that, they'll get a message out if they're not in class at the start of the day instead of at the end of the day. So they'll get both. But as he explains this change and, how it was related to the outcry after the loss of Madeline Soto.
Our team has been working to identify a new notification system.
Starting next month, Orange County families will get a notification in the morning and in the afternoon if their child is absent from school. The change comes after investigators say 13-year-old Madeline Soto was reported missing by her mother on February 26, claiming she did not know Madeline wasn't in school till the end of the day. The teen was found dead days later.
This horrific tragedy that happened just a couple weeks ago, or if not just a week ago, it happened in District 3 in one of my schools.
During the search for Madeline, more than 12,000 people signed a petition through change.org, an effort to get the district to make changes to their attendance system. At the time, News 6 reached out to the district, which confirmed they were working on a plan.
It really was a lot more complicated than I think any of us realized. And so I will be honest, I did not expect that we would have a solution in place.
So we'll be following that. And as for the man who has been charged in connection with this case, Stephen Stearns, the prime suspect in Soto's murder case, is facing dozens of new charges. The state attorney's office announced yesterday Stearns is facing 60 charges relating to photos and videos allegedly showing child sexual abuse that were found on his phone. Stearns is the boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother. Now, he has not been charged in connection with Madeline's disappearance or death officially, but Soto's body was found in the woods in Osceola County several days after she was reported missing. Now to more on the bill to potentially ban TikTok. And it could mean that, TikTok gets deleted this year. In just hours, House lawmakers are set to vote on that bill, and it could lead to a total ban of the site across the U.S. And News 6's Mark Lehman explains more about what the bill calls for and why some are saying it's not a good idea.
To single out TikTok in this way, we believe is dangerous.
Lawmakers yesterday speaking out against legislation that would require TikTok to sever ties with its Chinese-based owner ByteDance or risk being booted from U.S. app stores.
I am highly concerned about our data being collected and being misused by both foreign adversaries and also domestic companies. But this bill does not fix that problem.
The House voting on the bill today. It comes after many in Congress have long warned of national security concerns and accused the platform of spreading misinformation.
TikTok's access to 170 million American users makes it a valuable propaganda tool. This foreign interference and manipulation is not welcome here.
If the bill passes, ByteDance would have 6 months to divest from TikTok. Creators on the platform saying the legislation could hurt business owners who use the app daily and are complaining of First Amendment infringement.
This is a life-changing app. So many people, not only 5 million small businesses rely on it, but 170 million people rely on this app for more than just their livelihood.
And so there's two sides to this coin, and our Mark Lehman is here with us live this morning to chat a little bit more about this. Good morning, Mark.
Hi, good morning, Bridgett.
We talked about it before we came onto the live stream, and, you said that, you don't even use TikTok, but I'm sure that, people in your circle use it, and there's just this argument right now of how people are able to monetize using this site, and then other people are worried about, the problematic things like being addicted to sites like this because of the way the algorithms are designed to keep you scrolling and your privacy. Mm-hmm. I mean, like they said, the data collection that's been proven. But what is it you think is driving so much of this? Is it because of the connection to China? What do you think?
Well, I mean, for years, lawmakers have been talking about the concerns when it comes to national security surrounding TikTok because it's owned by a Chinese-based company, which is an adversary of the U.S. That lawmakers have expressed concerns about data being shared, about propaganda and misinformation being spread throughout the platform. And that's been mainly their focus on this, and that's what they've been spearheading, trying to get something like this going for the past several years. And now we have this bill going today before the House of Representatives, and it actually has bipartisan support. So a lot of people are thinking it's going to pass, and then the question becomes, what happens next? Will it pass through the Senate and then move on to the president's desk and be actually signed into law? Because if that's the case, then we could no longer see TikTok in these app stores if the company does not sell off to another organization. If the Chinese-based company does not sell to another company within 6 months.
When you look at content creators across our country, small business owners, like you heard in your story, it's a big chunk of how they've been able to drive up their business and create streams of revenue. So, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
that
money in their pockets.
Oh yeah, that creator we heard from at the end of my story, he actually said that he makes 90% of his income comes from TikTok on these videos that he uses to promote his products. He sells them online, and if that goes away, then he doesn't know what he's going to do. And there's a lot of people like that, social influencers, content creators that use the site to generate income and promote their products. And the question becomes then, if this bill passes, then what happens with them? Because they feel like they don't have a say in any of this and are very concerned about what will happen if this actually does pass and if TikTok gets banned.
I've been following some of these content creators across the platforms, and I've noticed that they're, trying to encourage each other about what to do if it does indeed go away. And they're saying, try to encourage your followers to follow you on Instagram, maybe start doing the Instagram reels instead of the TikToks, and, do more YouTube shorts and try to get into any other new apps that may be in development. And so that's sort of the Pandora's box to me, is that before TikTok, it was that we were talking about misinformation on Facebook and misinformation on Twitter. So it's not that misinformation is going to go away just because you get rid of TikTok. It'll just be, some other app that comes up that'll be targeted depending on who owns it. And there's the politics, there's the business competition element in all of this mixed in.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's certainly other platforms like you mentioned, at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But the thing is, with TikTok, those other platforms are U.S. based organizations. So with TikTok, it's owned by its parent company is based in China, which again is foreign adversary. So there are concerns about what that company is doing with this data. Now, TikTok CEO has urged that the company does have firewalls in place to protect users' data, but the question is, how much can that be trusted, and what is really going on? Because there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to how that data is being used and collected, and again,
Right.
how this misinformation is being shared over the platform. But again, a lot of users, just simply use it to try to promote their products and create content on these platforms, and they're just kind of caught in the middle on all this.
Yeah, it's an interesting debate. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. And I just feel like it's a flashback of, other political, especially presidential election years, where we talked about, especially with us being in news, trying to encourage people to be cautious about where they get their news, because we've watched the evolution of news and how people have come into some of these platforms and sort of almost posing as journalists, and it's not real journalism. So, it's something that, we're up against it too.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to be skeptical of what you see online. It's about, depending on where that source is coming from. But I mean, there's a lot of, again, misinformation. Videos out there, fake videos. You don't know where they're coming from, and that's what I think lawmakers want to clamp down on here. But mainly, it's is the national security concerns and the data that's being gathered by TikTok and what they're doing with that data.
Yes. So we'll be watching. It's interesting. I mean, many states already banning it, many employers and schools banning it all over the country. So it's picking up steam. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, sure thing.
Well, we want to get to a story about Roku. We talk about your privacy constantly. And it is a battle for your privacy right now if you want to be on the grid, so to speak. But there is a consumer alert for Roku users now. The company says it has been hit by hackers. Roku says as many as 15,000 user accounts could be involved in this one. In some cases, the hackers tried to purchase streaming subscriptions. So keep an eye on your accounts. Roku says they've refunded customers who were impacted. They're telling everyone, hey, change your password. Make it something strong. I'd do that for all your passwords if you can. But anyway, tax time. We've been talking about that as well. And this one's from Mike Holfeld. He talked to our chief financial officer for Florida, Jimmy Petronas, about a tax liaison that will help taxpayers get results and make ends meet.
Our government should not be in the business of intimidating people. It should be in the business of helping people understand what the laws are and giving them guidance so we all live within those laws.
Call it motivation with you in mind. Florida's chief financial officer has the green light from state lawmakers to offer tax guidance for you, effective July 1st.
We're going to help you get an answer, and this is exactly what the tax advocate is intended to do.
CFO Jimmy Petronas tells News 6 under House Bill 989, Chief Financial Officer, he will be able to appoint a federal tax liaison to answer taxpayer questions, direct taxpayers to the right departments, and help resolve problems encountered by taxpayers.
We're not going to be attorneys. We're not going to represent you in a court of law, but we're going to make sure that if you've got a question of what's happening when I cross the threshold and now I'm told I need to have all my 1099s electronic, what does that mean? You know, we're going to give them the guidance to figure that out.
Is it effective immediately, sir?
Well, nothing will become effective until the budget is signed because there'll be some required funding. But then, you know, once the bill is signed, we're going to be given the authorization in order to start building out that service to our citizens, which I think they deserve.
Michael.
There's always questions about taxes, so hopefully that helps some people. That will do it for us this morning for Breakfast with Bridgett. We'll be back on News 6 WKMG at noon with more news and weather. Up next here on News 6 Plus is Weather Rise with meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, followed by Trooper Steve on patrol. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.